Hello, and hello again, guys. So, this is the proper way to launch a Mavic Air 2. Ask me, how do I know? Well, I posted my last video, and thanks for the guys who gave all the comments because I learned a lot from your input. This is what I actually garnered. So, launching the Mavic Air 2, because these drones are loaded with sensors. Mavic Air 2 has sensors for at the bottom, the front, the back, only missing sensors from the side, on the side, and the DJI Spark, which has been discontinued, has sensors at the bottom and the front. So two different beasts. And sorry about this. I had a chest mount GoPro, and I was just taking still photographs. And you can see that's the Mavic Air 2, which I just launched, and there it's hovering. And there's a few things you should know about these two drones, because after I fly this Mavic Air 2, I will be flying the DJI Spark, which has been discontinued. So the hovering accuracy for the Mavic Air 2 is plus or minus 0.1 meter when it's using the vision positioning. That's let's say you're indoors, like in a big sports complex or whatever, and it doesn't have access to the GPS positioning. But if it's using GPS positioning, it's 0.5 meter on the vertical plane, and on the horizontal plane it's 0.1 meter using vision positioning, and 1.5 meter using GPS positioning. It's got a single IMU. That's the inertial measuring unit. That's what tells the drone you're going forward, backward. And to land the drone, you put your hand underneath. Do not approach the drone. When you approach the drone, it runs away from you. It thinks it's an obstacle, like a tree branch, and it would run away from you. So you just put your hand underneath, hold it stable, come down, press the down button. It will land on your hand, and then keep on holding that down left control stick down, and then the drone will actually shut off finally. If you do not keep on holding the stick down, the motors will keep running, and then the drone might actually start fighting you and try to take off. And yeah, that's what happens with most people. They freak out. As soon as the drone gets into their hand, then they try to pull it down, and then the drone is like, oh, something is not right, and it tries to take off again. So this is the Mavic Spark. It's an older drone, an older design. The first thing that strikes you with the Spark is it looks so tiny. You don't even understand how it would fly with those tiny props, but it does fly. Bear in mind, this drone is very prone to having fly-offs, so I tend to keep it really close to me. Right now, I don't use it very much. I use it mostly as a demonstrator. Back in the day, it used to be a very excellent drone. It did a lot, took good pictures. Flight time is about 15 minutes compared to the 34 minutes for the Mavic Air 2. Mavic Air 2 has a very robust connection to your controller, whereas the Spark, it's quite noisy too. So right now I just use it mostly for, I don't really use the images out of the Spark, but I always try to get all of my drones with a memory card in them, Minimum I have, I think right now, is about 34 gigabyte. Storage is bound to come down, but you always want that b-roll footage, because ultimately that's what's gonna save you from a very bad day. So here you have the DJI Spark hovering, and you can see it's not very stable in its hover, even with minor winds, because it's just what it is. It has an older kind of inertial measuring unit. Some of the DJI Pro professional level, prosumer kind of drones used to have two IMUs, but after so much experimentation, they found out one is good enough. So here I'm trying to bring it in, and the hovering accuracy when using the vision positioning system is zero point 0.1, and 0.5 when using GPS for the vertical, and 0 plus or minus 0.3 meters using vision, and plus or minus 1.5 meters. That's huge. This thing is, it's gonna cut your fingers or hurt somebody if you don't know what you're doing. So it's not very accurate at all compared to the Mavic Air 2, especially if you go with like horizontal. This one is 0 0.1 and 0 0.1 for vision positioning, horizontal and vertical. At this point in time, I actually have an update for my DJI Spark, but on this video I couldn't download the update, so that will be for another day. And that's how you flag the Spark with your phone. I'm glad DJI actually improved that a lot, because it's just so inconvenient. And you just press the down button, it comes to your hand. You could also turn the Spark on its side, and that will make the IMU give the feedback that the drone is upside down or on its side. And if you are on your side, you don't want to be spinning the motor, so it will shut down the motors. And this is also the Spark again. You see, I'm using my pinky to press on the down. Other thing I do at times is also use the sport mode, but you got to be very careful. When you turn on the sport mode, these drones get very touchy. You can see that sport mode. Even the Spark, it gets really touchy. I mean, you move the stick just a little bit, and the drone will take off on you. Even in mid-flight, you can see the battery indicator. You can still tell how much battery you got left. Sorry about the bush in front. I'm just trying to make the place look nice, so a few branches were cut off. And you press the down, 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 and don't move your hand up, and the drone will think, okay, that's the ground, and it will come and settle right in and shut off. If it doesn't shut off, of course, like I said, for the Spark, you turn it on its side. For the Mavic Air 2, you just keep pressing on the down button, and the motor will shut off ultimately. And this drone is just a beast. If you need one drone, this is all what you need. And guys, if you have a Mavic Air 2, please, you could buy aftermarket props, but I will strongly advise to get OEM props, because the way they are designed is that they self-destruct upon impact, and that way you can actually recover your drone. Most of the time the drone will look like really messed up, but in reality most of the parts are designed just to absorb the shock of an impact. And for DJI drones, if you are new to these drones, the way you get them to start their engines after they've connected to your controller is you push both controller sticks down and in, like you saw me just do in the video, and that will get the propellers turning. Once they start turning, you can push the up button and they will accelerate and gently take off with the drone. That is how you fly the drone without your controller or without your iPhone connected. A few times I fly like this, and here I'm in sport mode, and you can see how aggressive the drone takes off. That angle is just for it to get to the speed that it needs, and I believe this DJI Mavic Air 2, if you put it on sport mode, it should hit about, I think, 34 miles per hour, and that's just insane. It means let's say you are running in most towns in the United States, you will be going above the speed limit. It has a 3500 milliamp hour battery, basically 12 volts, but it says 11.55, and you charge it at 13.2 volts. And here I'm trying to bring it into land, and it lands. It's got a 12 megapixel sensor. Sorry guys, you can see the video is a bit dark, but you can see the sky. We had quite a bit of cloud cover on this day. Put it in the back of the Mahindra Roxor. The Mahindra, that's not a Jeep, that's a vehicle from India. It's called the Roxor, for those who are not aware. And here I have some close-up shots which I did with my full frame Sony camera, and this is, I think, fully at 70 millimeters. That's the Spark. It flies pretty good, but you can just note how shaky it is. It goes left, right, and that's a stable hover. I'm not touching the controls. There are a few gusts, wind gusts coming through, and it's quite loud. And after reading a few reports about batteries dropping from the DJI Spark, I don't take out my battery that often. Last time I did was because I caught the Spark mid-air, and I had no way of turning it off. It was trying to fight me, and I took off the battery. Otherwise, I leave the battery in the drone, and then all what I do is I charge it right while it's on the drone. That's just to reduce the wear and tear on the latching mechanism, and that way the battery doesn't fall off mid-flight. And sorry guys, even though I've had my camera for a year, I should know better, but I keep pressing on the button and it still it seeks focus. Whereas I believe if I just let it by to its own devices, it wouldn't be seeking the focus. And here is a shot of the Mavic Air 2. This is just a beast of a drone. It covers everything I ever need, and so far it has performed spectacularly. Once more, I apologize for the shifting focus. That was me. I kept light pressing on the shutter button, and it made the drone, the camera, sorry, hunt for the focus. These are just some bonus still shots. I give them away free. If you need any of these, let me know. I will give you a whole suite of drone photographs you can use wherever and whenever you want. Thanks guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.